Hi. Thank you very much for holding this event tonight. I think the communication and the education is really important. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about New Sanctuary Coalition. New Sanctuary Coalition has a fundamental belief that no one should be deported. And that simple truth is the basis of all of our work. We're guided by one overarching principle, which is do no harm. And that informs all of the many ways we fight with our friends, which is the term that we use for folks that we work with who are fighting deportation. That do no harm rule informs everything that we do in fighting for those cases. New Sanctuary believes that we all are sanctuary, that sanctuary is not just a place, a church. Sanctuary is something that we can create in a community and in ourselves and in gatherings. That's a little woo-woo, but you can talk to me later about it if you want. We have a number of different programs. The two biggest programs that we have that are most open to your participation, which would be great, is the accompaniment program. We are in 26 Federal Plaza and 201 Varick Street every single day of the week, accompanying friends to court hearings, to ICE check-ins, to ISAP check-ins on Elk Street, to fingerprinting, to DMV, to everywhere that this toxic environment has made it dangerous for people to go. And we welcome you to our accompaniment trainings. We have roughly 50 accompaniments a week right now, and our accompaniment group of volunteers is constantly growing, as are the folks that we work with. So please go to the website and check out the upcoming accompaniment trainings for that. Another piece of our work is the Pro Se Clinic. Many of our friends don't have lawyers and feel that because they don't have lawyers, they can't fight their case. We don't believe that that's true. We believe in empowering our friends to advocate on their own behalf, and we help them work through their case and understand all of the things that they can do without a legal attorney, without an attorney. Our hope and our goal is that all of our friends do get attorneys, because percentages are much higher for winning relief if you do have an attorney. At the same time, we believe that our friends are their own best advocates. They know what they need, they are very strong, and they lead all of our actions. We're an immigrant organized group, and we follow. Our friends lead and we follow. So the Pro Se Clinic is on Tuesday nights. You're welcome to come to 40 Washington Square South at 5:30 and check out how that works and how you can help out there. Also, if you have friends who are in deportation proceedings who could use some help and some support and some community in terms of fighting their cases individually, please do feel free to send them to our clinic. We have an open door and everybody who comes in is seen. New Sanctuary runs on a no judgment policy. We don't entertain the good immigrant, bad immigrant narrative at all. It makes everything easier. New Sanctuary believes that there are many ways to fight the system, that no one way is the only way or the right way, and that all of the different strategies work together towards success. So that means that, yes, there are some legal strategies that can be done, and that's important. At the same time, we are all, the community, are the source of the greatest power and pressure. That can take many different forms. Our accompaniment program is a very non-confrontational form of advocacy. And the way that we do it, with an eye towards the very long-term effects of every action that we take, have made it possible for us to accompany hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, helping them get bond, making sure that they come back out of the building, which is one of the biggest goals. One of the sisters here today said accompanied people have not been detained by ICE, and we also find that to be true. ICE likes to work in the dark. and when people are not alone, ICE doesn't work quite as well. So we're very happy about that. So the accompaniment program, the Pro Se Clinic, we also believe that public showing of support and energy and creative power is a piece of the fight. To that end, we recently had an action down at 26 Federal Plaza that focused on the suitcases. When a loved one is deported, many of you probably already know this, when a person is deported, loved ones get the right to pack a suitcase that can be no more than 40 pounds for them to be given when they land wherever they're landing. That is often a place they have not been in decades and decades, and they have nothing and no one when they land. That experience of having to pack a suitcase for someone that you love that is leaving you is profoundly painful and difficult, and it's a piece of the deportation weapon that is not very well known, so we wanted to bring that to light. So we had a big event down at 26 Federal Plaza with an altar and teach-ins, and out of that came our popular education series. We think that you can't abolish ICE until you understand how it's working, that knowing, as people have mentioned tonight, who benefits from this machinery. So we organized a series of popular education trainings, one around exactly that, who's benefiting from the deportation machine, and the other is around the 1996 immigration laws, which went a long way towards laying the foundation for this nightmare that we have right now. We believe that education is really important. We have an upcoming event happening on October 29th. No, I'm sorry, October 29th is Ravi's First Amendment appeal oral arguments. Ravi Ragbir is our executive director, and as you may know, he is named in he's one of the plaintiffs in a First Amendment suit that is being appealed. That oral argument is happening Monday, October 29th at the Court of Appeals Second Circuit here in Manhattan. In order to prepare folks for that and sort of get some education out there around what that case is, we're having a First Amendment teach-in on Thursday, October 25th. It's next Thursday. If you're free and you'd like to go, it'll be a really good event. It's 6 to 9 p.m. in Brooklyn. And the theme is immigrant rights and the First Amendment. It'll be followed by a Know Your Rights for Activists training and a public art project. You can see our website for more information about that and to sign up. I was asked to give just a little bit of an update about Ravi's case, and what I can say is that the oral argument, excuse me, for the First Amendment, case is happening on the 29th. Ravi had a check-in scheduled for the 11th of October that ICE finally postponed on the 10th of October. So we had some very stressful nights there. But he has a future, they delayed it, so he has a future check-in coming up. But the main thing right now is the hearing. One of the other ways that we fight back is through legislation. The separation of families is absolutely still ongoing and still horrific. There are families with kids in Cayuga right now where mom is here, grandma's here, the kids are there, and still they're not united. Mom can talk to the kids for 5 minutes a day, and it's just a nightmare getting them back together. New Sanctuary Coalition called a meeting for elected officials and other groups and came up with legislation that was presented, state legislation called the SCAR Act. SCAR, S-C-A-R, stands for Separated Children Accountability Response. And the SCAR Act is basically asking that these state contracted facilities where children are being held away from their families, at the very least, have to make public accounting of how many children are there every 15 days. because kids are coming in, kids are going out, and nobody is keeping track of how many kids are there. And so they can say, we released or we reunited 500 families, but they're not being held to accountability in order to prove that. So more information about that and a petition to sign and letters for Cuomo are also on our website. The website is newsanctuarycoalition.nationbuilder.com. We're in the process of upgrading the website, so just bear with that. If you would like to get updates about Ravi's case from his defense committee, you can email his defense team at ravidefensecommittee@gmail.com and join their newsletter. They send out newsletters and information about events around Ravi in particular. But New Sanctuary works with lots and lots of people. There are over 100 people every Tuesday at our Pro Se clinic, over 300 volunteers. Like I said, the accompaniment program is really big, and we would welcome folks who want to join us in that work. Last thing I wanted to mention, on November 1st, we're having an action in Washington Square Park. It's Dia de los Muertos, and we're inviting people to bring pictures, mementos, favorite foods of people who they are separated from, loved ones they're separated from, either by death or by borders or by detention. We're building an altar, and then there'll be a procession down to Varick Street. More about that, just email me. My email is carol@newsanctuarynyc.org. Feel free to email me with any questions or more details about any of this. And thank you very much.